For many years here we've been doing fungicide testing on soybeans for control of Sclerotinia. We have moved to the second phase of this testing where we are interested in the efficacy under different row spacings. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is timing. Okay, our standard recommendation for applying foliar fungicides to control Sclerotinia on soybeans is to apply the fungicide at bloom initiation, okay, which would be R1 to early R2 growth stage. And that recommendation was based off of work done on solid-seeded soybeans. And on solid-seeded soybeans, as you know, when we're at bloom initiation, we're typically also at canopy closure, okay? Certainly if we're under a ton of drought stress, then it might be different, but then we're not worried about Sclerotinia. Okay, and so in this case, we're testing fungicides under 7, 14, 21, and 28 days. And the data from the initial disease rating are in your package. Okay, there's a page there with those results. And we just took our best guess at what the appropriate application timing should be on the wider row spacings. And in this case, on the 7 and 14-inch rows and the 21-inch rows, we applied the fungicides just shortly before canopy closure, when you could still see a little bit of ground between the rows, but not very much. Okay, and when we did that, we got good to excellent disease control with the best fungicides. Okay, and in this case, this would be Endura at 8 ounces, and actually Endura at 5.5 ounces performed very similarly in this case. In our 28-inch rows, we missed the boat, and we applied at canopy closure, not a few days before. And if you get a chance later on to look at those results, you'll see that we did not get good disease control in that case. What we're looking to do this next year is you'll find that we will have fungicide timing trials for these different row spacings to really nail down the optimum timing for the various row spacings. But at least at this point, our observations from the season would suggest that you want to get it on shortly before canopy closure. And even if that means that you're starting to approach R3, if that happens to be the case on your 30-inch rows. Okay? And but I do not have a lot of data to back that up to this point. It's just what worked for us this season, and next year we'll start collecting some data on really rigorous data on different timings. With that, I would like to emphasize to you that fungicides never give you complete control of Sclerotinia, ever. Okay, and I will illustrate that here really quickly. Okay, plot 105 right here is our 7-inch rows. Okay, this is Endura at 5.5 ounces. And the plot itself looks a little bit better than the buffer on this side, and slightly better maybe than this buffer. The check, the corresponding check, again on 7-inch rows, is right here. Okay, and I would argue that that looks better than this, but you're still looking at partial disease control. Whenever you're using fungicides to control Sclerotinia, especially on soybeans, you're looking at partial disease control. Remember, this is the low rate of Endura. Okay. That said, we have routinely seen yield responses to the use of Endura for control of Sclerotinia on soybeans when you have sufficient disease pressure, and that would typically mean at least about 10% incidence in a non-treated area. Okay. I.e., if you did not treat anything at all at the end of the season, you'd end up with about 10% of your plants with Sclerotinia. Okay, but just a reminder, fungicides give you partial control. Varieties that have reduced susceptibility give you partial control. All these tools give you partial control.